Ever feel confused by your boss's actions? Maybe they seem annoyed but won't tell you why. This might be passive-aggressive behavior. It's like hinting at something instead of saying it directly. Imagine someone saying, "You look great," but they sound like they don't mean it. That's passive aggression. Passive aggression is a way of expressing negative feelings indirectly. It can make work a bad place to be. People feel unsure and worried. They don't know what's going to happen next. This makes it hard to do a good job. It can also hurt relationships and teamwork. Passive aggression is a common problem at work. It can come from a fear of arguing or wanting to control others. Understanding this behavior is the first step to dealing with it. So, how can you tell if your boss is passive-aggressive? They might say yes to something, but then forget to do it. This can be frustrating because you might rely on their commitment to move forward with your tasks, only to find out later that they didn't follow through. Or they might give you the silent treatment instead of talking about a problem. This can create a tense and uncomfortable work environment, leaving you unsure of what went wrong or how to fix it. These are common signs of passive-aggressive behavior. Another sign is a backhanded compliment. They might say, "That report was surprisingly good." On the surface, it sounds like praise, but it actually undermines your efforts. The word surprisingly suggests they thought you wouldn't do a good job. This can leave you feeling undervalued and confused about your performance. They might also keep information or resources from you, making you feel stuck. This can hinder your ability to complete tasks efficiently and can be a deliberate tactic to undermine your success. Passive-aggressive bosses often act like the victim. They might complain about how hard their job is or how no one understands them, seeking sympathy while avoiding responsibility. They might blame others for their own mistakes. This deflects attention from their shortcomings and places undue pressure on their team. They might also make sarcastic comments that sound like jokes. These comments can be hurtful and create a hostile work environment. Learning to recognize these behaviors is really important. It helps you understand the dynamics at play and prepares you to handle such situations more effectively. It helps you understand what's happening and avoid getting the wrong idea about their actions. Recognizing passive-aggressive behavior can empower you to address issues directly and maintain a healthier work environment. Dealing with a passive-aggressive boss can be super frustrating. It's like trying to find your way through a maze with your eyes closed. You never know what's going to happen or how they'll react. This can be really stressful. One of the biggest problems is that it's hard to talk about the behavior. Because it's indirect, talking to them directly can be awkward. They might say they didn't do anything wrong or blame you instead. This can leave you feeling ignored and helpless. Also, passive aggression can make people at work afraid to speak up. People might not want to share their ideas because they're worried about a bad reaction. This stops creativity and teamwork, which can hurt the team's success. Section 4. Winning the game strategies for navigating a tricky boss. Don't worry, dealing with a passive-aggressive boss doesn't have to be impossible. It might seem daunting at first, but with the right strategies, you can navigate this tricky situation effectively. There are several things you can do to handle this tricky situation. The key is to stay calm and composed, and to approach the problem methodically. One good method is to set clear expectations and boundaries. This helps in creating a structured environment where misunderstandings are minimized. When you're given a task, make sure you understand the details and when it's due. Clarify any ambiguities right away to avoid future conflicts. Write it down to avoid confusion. Keeping a record of your tasks and deadlines can be a lifesaver in a chaotic work environment. If they give you too much work, politely but firmly say no. It's important to manage your workload to maintain quality and avoid burnout. Remember, it's okay to set healthy boundaries. This not only helps you, but also sets a precedent for others in the workplace. Another important strategy is to talk directly, even if it feels uncomfortable. Open communication can often resolve issues before they escalate. When you see passive-aggressive behavior, talk about it calmly and respectfully. Addressing the issue head-on can prevent misunderstandings. For example, you could say, "I noticed you seemed upset about the report. Could you tell me what you'd like me to change?" This starts a conversation and encourages them to communicate directly. It opens the door for constructive feedback and improvement. By implementing these strategies, you can create a more positive and productive work environment, even with a tricky boss. Section 5. Finding the light. Building a brighter future at work. In today's fast-paced work environment, it's essential to focus on creating a positive and supportive atmosphere. Remember, you deserve a good and respectful workplace. Everyone has the right to feel valued and appreciated in their job. You can't change your boss's behavior quickly, but you can control how you react to it. Taking a moment to breathe and center yourself can make a big difference. By setting boundaries, communicating clearly, and getting support when you need it, you can handle this tough situation. Don't hesitate to reach out to mentors or HR for guidance. Don't be afraid to write down examples of passive-aggressive behavior. Keeping a record can provide clarity and evidence if needed. This can be helpful if you need to talk to HR or someone else to help solve the problem. Documentation can be a powerful tool in resolving conflicts. Remember, you're not the only one. Many people have faced similar challenges and have found ways to overcome them. Lots of people face similar challenges. Sharing your experiences with others can provide new perspectives and solutions. Focus on building good relationships with your co-workers. A strong support network can make a significant difference in your work life. Support each other and celebrate good things. Recognizing and appreciating small victories can boost morale and foster a positive environment. By creating a culture of open communication and respect, you can make work a better place, even if your boss is difficult. Together, we can build a brighter future at work.